Airservices Australia CEO change, and they are to the department, not to Airservices Australia.
They may be best asked under the transport outcome when I'll have relevant officials here.
Well, why don't I start and see if you can answer? Because I'm sure Cabinet submissions would have to go through you, Mr Betts.
They would, without Cabinet in confidence.
Yes, but we found out last time that the board had agreed. So who made the decision to not renew the Airservices Australia CEO contract?
I'm going to ask Ms Purvis Smith, the Deputy Secretary for Transport, to come to the table.
Marisa Purvis Smith, Deputy Secretary of Transport Group. That's what I was looking for. Senator, that was a Cabinet. All board appointments go through Cabinet. It was a Cabinet decision.
Yes, I know they go through Cabinet, so it was a Cabinet decision, not a ministerial decision.
It's a Cabinet decision.
They're all Cabinet decisions.
Yep. That action of Cabinet was taken against the board advice as we received evidence last estimates. Is that correct?
I believe last estimates was that that the board recommended the reappointment of the CEO.
Which Cabinet overturned?
Or Cabinet
took the decision
took the decision that it took and made a different decision.
What Cabinet date was that?
I don't have the actual Cabinet date on me, I'm sorry.
Mr Betts?
I don't think we're at liberty to disclose.
It's not the NSC. It's a Cabinet meeting. It's not the National Security Committee.
But you know the convention around discussing...
I'm not asking what's in... No, please, let's not... Are you seriously asking public interest immunity over the date of a Cabinet meeting? I'm not asking for the minutes of Cabinet. I'm not asking for the brief that went up to Cabinet. I'm asking what the date that decision was made.
I don't have it. I'd have to take it on notice.
Minister?
I wasn't there, obviously.
No, I know. More's the pity. When are they going to promote you?
No, you need to get on the elbow for me. But I'm
well, it worked last time. Remember that?
I know. I do. I'm happy to take it on notice.
From 0 to hero over lunch.
I think we're digressing. I'll take it on notice.
Wow. What compensation will Mr Hartfield be due as a result of his departure?
Mr Hartfield's contract is with ASA, not the department. I am not privy to his contract or his terms of employment.
Is the department undertaking a search for a new CEO, or does that sit with the board?
The board is undertaking a global search for a new CEO.
Does the department sit on the selection committee?
I have had conversations with the chair around
the acting chair.
The chair of the board around the processes going forward. They are starting the process, and the department will be part of the process once it gets going.
So, can you outline the process for the new CEO finding?
I won't have all of the information because, as I said, this is a process that the board is starting. They have a search firm. They are starting that process with the search firm, and it will go from there.
Sorry?
Well, in terms of they have a search firm, they will undertake an advertisement and they will search globally.
Have they got the search firm now?
They have the search firm.
And who's that?
We'll check.
We'll check. I can get that pretty quickly for you. It's just left my head.
We've got all day, if it's there.
I don't actually have it here with me, but I can get it for you.
It's not a secret, Wolf.
No, it's not a secret. This is why it's so frustrating.
Well, we'll tell you as soon as we've got the
As soon as we have it.
Thank you. So in terms, we've got the search agency engaged, global search. Who's on the selection panel?
That's not been decided as yet.
When will that be decided?
I'm not sure of the exact date, but given that the search has started, as soon as they start to get names, that will be decided.
Typically, you'd have a long list of candidates identified by the search firm. Then the board, who are responsible for the CEO appointment in the first instance and for the management of the recruitment process, would assemble a panel. That may have a department representative on it to be determined, and then shortlisting decisions would be taken, interviews would take place, a preferred candidate or several candidates may be identified, put forward to the Minister, and then it's taken to Cabinet from there as a significant appointment.
The Chair and the Board often makes a decision as to how many members of the Board's on the panel, so not all members of the Board are as often on the panel. So my understanding is that decision has not yet been made as to how many members of the Board will be part of the panel.
What ministerial reasons were given for the decision not to reappoint Mr Harfield?
I'm not sure I quite understand the question on the ministerial reasons, Senator.
Well, the brief would have gone up with the Board's recommendation, which the Minister didn't agree with because he's not the CEO.
Well, it's Cabinet decision, as we've said.
Yes, I realise that. But before it goes to Cabinet, it would have been sent back down and said, we're not putting this forward.
The decision was not to reappoint.
And that was a decision.
And that was a Cabinet decision, not a ministerial decision.
It was a Cabinet decision.
So the Minister accepted the Board's recommendation and put that to Cabinet.
I'm not able to provide you with the advice that we provided to the Minister and then what went forward, Senator.
How much is the cost of the selection process?
It's only just kicking off, so yet to be determined, but that might be a question for the ASA.
We all know the problems with this organisation over a long period of time under various governments. Has the department been proactive in assisting ASA in developing key qualities for the next CEO in order that we don't see a repeat of the last schmozzle?
We've been talking to the Chair.
Is that a yes? Yes or no?
The appointment.
I would hope with all the experience of the department.
Senator, what I suppose I'm struggling with is that I don't have responsibility for the appointment of the CEO.
No, I know that.
The responsibility is with the Board and the Chair. So I do speak to the Chair and we speak about the qualities that you need in a CEO and the organisation, yes, but in the end it is the
correct. I'm not suggesting you are the decision maker at all. I just am wanting to know if there's some sensible advice being given to this organisation. Did the department provide the Minister with any advice regarding Mr Hartfield's tenure outside of the Board's recommendation?
We provided a minsub to the Minister.
Yep. And did that agree with the Board's assessment?
I can't provide you with advice on what went to the Minister and then what went through a process.
Okay, let's go to just simple facts then. When was that provided to the Minister?
Just bear with me, Senator.
Yeah.
The 29th of November 2023.
29th of November
2023.
2023. And no other brief?
Was followed up by a brief on the 18th of January.
Okay. Was that as a result of the Minister sending the 29th of November one back and asking some questions, or just an additional brief?
I'm not sure that it was based on your first description. I would have to double check.
Yeah.
I can do that, but
just might be
my
timelines here.
Memory was a follow-up. Right?
Yep. Okay. Great. Thank you. Has the department made any other recommendations to the Minister regarding the operation, composition or tenure of any member of the current board?
We provide advice to the Minister on board appointments.
Yes.
As you would know, Minister, and we do.
They're the good old days, Ms. Purvis. It's all good. I do love it. I do secretly love it when everyone accidentally says that.
We provide advice to the Minister on tenure.
So you would have done that, but when?
On board, I can. I believe on the 29th of November.
That included that as well, board.
There was, yes, it included upcoming board vacancies as well.
Okay. Has the department provided any advice to the Minister regarding the function, capacity or structure of Airservices Australia?
Again, the relevant people will be here in outcome 2, and we provide advice to the Minister on a range of things.
Sounds like it's straight out of the PM&C.
No, it's not. It's not just a one. It's not a one-off brief.
Yeah.
It's not a one-off type of issue either. So there's a range of things where Airservices Australia has to provide quarterly reports.
Yep.
We look at those quarterly reports. We provide briefing to the Minister. They also provide information on a regular basis in relation to the statement of expectations that the Minister has provided to the board and to Airservices
So she
Australia.
gets those quarterly.
She gets some things quarterly, and she gets other things in other time frames as well, and we provide briefing on those matters to the Minister.
Okay, just on notice, outside of quarterly reports, I'd be interested to know just the topics, you don't have to go to the detail, and the dates of the other advice. And I'd like to know if the Minister requested it or if the department felt she needed to know this information.
That may not always be clear-cut in the sense that
I
there are some
appreciate
conversations, but we'll do our best.
But usually you would know where the request was generated from, one of your DITRDCA or out of the office. What advice has the department provided the Minister regarding the likely industrial action of the traffic controllers?
So we've provided regular updates as we had them, and information that we received from ASA and from CASA. We provided that information on a regular basis to the Minister's office.
So what contingencies are being put in place if air traffic controllers go on strike?
So that is with so we talked to CASA about that as well as ASA. So
Did
you
talk
to
the union?
So,
Chair, just mindful of your previous guidance as to corporate matters, as again this is squarely under the transport outcome. We're happy to keep going, but
look, I'd rather stick. Important issues they may be, I'd rather let's get corporate matters out of the way. In all fairness, because I did lead with saying, let's try and go to where they're supposed to be. Otherwise, we just sit here and we're still in corporate matters at lunchtime.
Yeah, we probably